Hey everybody, Rodman here. Thanks for tuning in to The Philosopher King, a RimWorld royalty series about being a benevolent ruler in a benevolent society. This society run by rules and goals. And of course, the projects that you all get to vote on. These are the list that I'm currently working on. A little recap from last episode. We are trying to set up defenses for a considerable attack. We accepted the quest, the adorable red fox, and in accepting this, about 300 tribals will arrive over the course of 20 or so days. I am planning on finishing this monument. The condition that this monument gets damaged is that 55 grizzly bears attack our colony, and I'm hoping to pit those grizzly bears against some of the tribals. Now, things I need to do. 1. Mastica, you need to go sleep in the Night Owl bedroom. I also want to schedule Bubbaloo and Chris. Let's have you clean. Bubbaloo and Chris will be trying to scan for additional underground plasteel. Other things I want to do is to finish off and deconstruct these moisture pumps. There's one little segment that still needs draining, but it's going to take considerable days for it to expand there from this moisture pump. So what I'm going to do is break it down and build one temporary one, and then we'll be done with the moisture pumping. On top of that, I should start planning on planting some cloth. In fact, I'm going to stop this current planting and switch over to cotton. The reason for cotton is we have the precursor to having good meds, but we need to have cloth to be able to manufacture it. We have sent for bulk goods traders to arrive. I'm waiting for that as well. Of course, we also have to keep Argus nice and safe. Now, if you're curious, if you ever contract blood rot, you can cure blood rot right like this, but it will take 10 Glitterworld medicine, which is a pretty considerable amount of Glitterworld medicine, so I don't suggest curing it unless the quest requires you to. Another thing I wanted to do is to stock up considerably on meat, so that I don't have a situation where I run out. Now, I doubt I'm going to, or not even doubt, I know for pretty much with certainty I won't be able to get to walling off the Godswood. The defense of the people obviously taking precedence over the Godswood. I do hope that nothing burns, nothing gets destroyed, but yeah, I'm physically not going to be able to make sure it stays protected. Why are you? You're just sky high expectations. That's why. Okay. All right. So I have Chris here on the ground penetrating scanner, hoping that I uncover some additional plasteel. We do have a considerable amount of uranium, as you can see, but we are going to be running pretty low on plasteel in order to get these turrets constructed, and I think they are going to take top priority. Seems to me like everybody's doing a little bit of hunting, and then once they're done hunting, stockpiling up the resources I need for long-term defense will be good to do some of the construction tasks. Mastica the medic, fully healed. That's good to hear. I want to put in some additional shelving for artifacts and other high prized and priority items, so that I could pull stuff like the Insanity Lances and Shock Lances and Animal Pulsers, not that I own any, out of the out of the general stockpile, which is far away from my colony and would take longer to activate, and put it more central. So I'll get those shelves up as well, and this is part of the defense. On top of that, right now, Yanshui, Festopia, Shay, Chris, they all have, and Poppy, they all have sniper rifles, which are obviously the best range, but maybe not the best against incoming swarms of tribals. So I'm going to switch their weapons out to faster fire rate weapons instead, which do higher damage per second. So let's see, we've got 2 charge rifles, assault rifle. Fostopia is going to swap to assault rifle. There we go. Shay is going to swap too. Perfect. All fast firing. Now, they're not going to be able to necessarily outrange great bows, but I think that ultimately will make us more effective. Could you please stop social fighting? Oh my goodness. So one of the things I need to do is probably keep this forbidden. Yeah, you go rescue him. Because otherwise it's going to get smelted like the last charge rifle that we got. Player here, of course, is a wimp, and that is the reason why he, or she, I'm not even sure which, flopped during that. Mayhaps a little embarrassing, but it is what it is. Another thing I might do, Yanshui, I'm going to have you manning the research. All right, so these shelves here, let's for now clear them out. I didn't really care about the quality of the shelves. What do we want here? We want items, artifacts. Really, any artifact would be good. Healmech Serum, Persona Core. All of these high priority items would be good. I'm also going to put body parts, tech prints, neurotrainers. Just, you know, sort of a catch-all for all things that are not likely to want to be sold. It would be a good idea to keep body parts inside of my... Mastica, you're a medic that will never do medic tasks. That's right. It might be wise for us to keep spare body parts in our hospital, but I'm not prepared to make that change at present. I'm very eager to get this fully constructed, because once it's fully constructed, I get the last 2 tech prints I need for this whole research tree, and that frees up considerable space in the hospital, right? Because then, of course, my research bench can be broken down. We only need poison synthesis and neural computation left. Neither are necessarily critical to the long-term survival of our guys, but it's just a sort of a nice to have. Oh, you have a bunch of asthma. Okay. I was wondering why it said that you needed treatment. So as far as I remember, I haven't actually uncovered any plasteel or uranium nodes for mining. Just jade and silver. Oh, got some mad muffalo. Okay. Bubbaloo, you're going to be at risk. Mathis and Faustopia, let's not do that. Yanshui, Poppy. Actually, you know what? We have a ton of guests that might be able to help as well. I just realized. I'm probably taking this Mad Muffalo a little bit too seriously, to be honest. I don't think that 5 or so Muffalo are going to be significantly dangerous to all of the people that we have. But hey, better overkill than underkill. Talon, rejoin the group. Alright, well, when your meat comes to you, don't complain. One of the joys of these sort of random Manhunter Pulse is they don't end up getting Scoria. It's only the Manhunter packs that come into your map. And that way the meat isn't ruined, because Scoria, of course, has the chance to ruin a significant portion of your meat, which is not so cool. All right, so we're trying to stock up as much of the steel as we can. That's going to allow us to build the remaining autocannon turrets. And then another thing I might want to consider is I do have a lot of uranium. Now, uranium is, of course, a very, very handy material to use to rearm slug turrets. But it's also quite tough and allows me to build mini turrets out of uranium that aren't flammable and are very bullet resistant. Much more so than steel turrets that have 100 hit points. These have 250. Whereas plasteel, I believe, off the top of my head, is 290. But I, at the moment, don't have the plasteel for plasteel mini turrets. Okay, so the deep drill here is exhausted. Disease infection. Yep, cool. You got bit. That does make sense. Guess I'll heal you. Scanned steel underground. Right in the kill box, too. Or, excuse me, the welcoming... Yeah, it's a kill box. Rare Thrumbos coming in. 3 rare Thrumbos. Because my guests literally don't do anything besides shoot and eat, let's have them earn their keep by hunting some Thrumbos for me. I also don't really want them to die. Oh, and the Intalia bulk goods trader is coming in, finally. Oh, player, you should join them too. Alright, so this Thrumbo Revenge is just literally this one Thrumbo. Alright, Intalia's bulk goods trader, good. Let's go player. Oh, player. No. Hold on. Go equip your biolance. Sometimes it helps just to offer up a target for the Thrumbo to chase. That way everybody else can continue shooting. Instead of having the entire group have to kite and flee. And I figured the combat shotgun, although high DPS, is a great runner. And he's also a jogger, which helps. Alright, yep, there we go. All the all the Thrumbo hunted. Bubbaloo. Yep, let's get you trading. Bubbaloo, of course, has the Psychic Reader, which even if Poppy had the same level of social skill, makes him a better negotiator. One of the things I could do is to sell off all my meat because I've been hunting considerably, and that should, you know, allow me to buy a whole lot. I'm going to buy their nurturamine and their components. I'm going to sell off a lot of the miscellaneous lawyers that I have because I have double strand and Thrumbo fur in lieu. This, of course, leaves a lot to be purchased. Definitely going to buy their steel. No doubt about that. And... The wooden... Well, okay. They can't really afford anything else. I could buy some of their steel furniture to break down. What else do they have to purchase? I'll buy their steel urn just in case of, you know, allied deaths. That makes it a little bit easier to supply memorials. One thing I should start manufacturing is go juice, because go juice helps to increase your ability to use psychic powers. I'm going to buy a little cloth here just to balance the budget, and then take a look if there's anything else I want to part with, but I don't think there is. So that about rounds it out. That's a pretty good trade. Then, Intalia, let me talk to you again and potentially gift out some things. So I have considerable double strand. What I'm going to do is gift out the clothing here that is either damaged or not excellent quality. I'm going to only keep the excellent quality. The Masterwork Duster I'm going to keep even though it's damaged because that's worth it to me. Anything else? Here, you can have some chicken eggs and milk. I'm just trying to improve our relationship so that I can call upon them if I need additional help in the future. Okay. That's pretty good. The additional components will help to alleviate the amount of crafting that Zero is expected to do. Sorry, Claire. I forgot about you. And one other thing I wanted to do... Oh, maybe we already have it queued up. Is this a butcher creature of Thrumbo always? Yes. Okay, perfect. That's pretty much what I thought it was. The reason for that is if we had ever had a significantly long solar flare or some sort of power shortage or whatever, all the other animals, it's not that big of a deal if they rot, but of course Thrumbo are kind of special in a way, and you wouldn't want your Thrumbo to decay in that way. That would be bad. Okay, so this moisture pump is all set to go. What I'm going to do is break down this entire run of cable. We no longer need it. We don't need powered godswood or anything like that. The additional nurturamine should allow me to start making my own antibiotics. So I'm going to do until I have 50. I'm going to bring it to temp meds when we make it. So let me allow temp meds in here. And this should prevent, all the preventable diseases. Additionally, what I will do is here I will allow some additional drugs that I normally wouldn't. And let's continue to paste. And that way it gives us a place to reliably source our meds. Like I'll know where to look. seems to me that a considerable amount of the meat hauling needs to be done. I'm just going to force Shay to do it. I could queue up some forced haulers. That would be pretty good. But yeah, now we're starting to haul meat out to the kibble. Scan uranium underground. Whoa, and it's literally right here. That's very cool. So I'm just going to create a little stockpile here. Call it uranium 1. And empty it out. And that's just, of course, a reminder for later. It's a placeholder. But that's a very good source of uranium. It's a little dangerous to mine in the middle of your base where you could obviously succumb to the bugs pretty easily. Alright, so the Intalia friends are leaving. Erebum, I've already called over, so they should be here soon. Alright, Ms. Poppy. Faustupia, you are going to be our hauler. He's fleet of foot. And Poppy, you are going to be our cleaner. Okay, so this entire mud has been drained. Erebum with their bulk goods just came in. And then once the cooldowns are over, I'm going to queue up for... Instead of bulk goods, I'm going to queue up for some... exotics. Trying to think of the word. Came to me very slowly. Another thing I'm going to shelf here is 95 plus, normal plus, clothing that I wanted. Apparel. So let's pick our apparel. The L-Tech stuff, the dusters, what else? Not the noble armor, the prestige recon, the prestige no, not the prestige cataphract. Recon armor, shield belts, prestige cataphract helmets, and regular cataphract helmets, button-down shirts, pants. And I may need some additional shelves, but essentially just replacement items that we're gonna need to wear in a pinch. Psychic Soothe Mail just got triggered. That'll help out a lot. Babloo, would you be so kind as to do some trading? Oops, scan some silver. That was a pretty quick scan. Alright, so what do you guys got? You guys got more components for me? More steel? Gonna sell my bedrolls because I'm trying not to spend too much. I'll even sell my chem fuel, my Thrumbo meat. Selling the kibble maybe doesn't net me enough money to warrant doing. At this point, we're not relying on too much Thrumbo fur, so I'm gonna sell just to balance the budget here. I think it's probably the right call, because I definitely don't want to bankrupt ourselves. And we have a pretty insane amount of Thrumbo. So the silver we scanned is up here. I I suppose what I should do is start labeling everything, just so that I know what it is for later. And I could always get rid of the ugly plans on it, because I can just select my ground penetrating radar scanner to figure out what those zones are. Alright, so this steel node is ready to be mined up. It's lit. Isn't roofed. Well, I could roof it up like that. Yeah. Because, of course, most of this is under a roof. Okay, there we go. Some additional steel. For these turrets, we are waiting on 75 plasteel. Now that I'm starting to get antibiotics, might be a good idea to... Alright, 18 hours for that trade caravan and 18 hours. Okay, might be a good idea to start scheduling that. So if I go to the social drugs, the antibiotics... If you take a look under the antibiotics here, you've got a high duration per dose, and the high, of course, is protection of every 5.5 days. So if we wanted to schedule it like this, social drugs, antibiotics every 5 days, take one in the inventory. That would be a good thing to do. Another thing that we could do, which was suggested, is to, just in case of a pinch, keep wake up. I don't think... Okay, I think I'm going to have a new policy called guest no drugs, which is going to be different than my no drugs. So guest no drugs is truly no drugs. And then no drugs will be antibiotics. So now Mathis and Talon, who are teetotalers, they will take antibiotics, as will Abernath, who previously had a drug problem. I guess at this point, we can put her back on work. I think she's done with her drug problem. Yeah, she's just her standard pessimist now. So she can be back on social drugs. But then these social drugs, of course, yeah, we're gonna carry around Wake Up with us, and then Bubbaloo. No, I'm good. We'll leave it like that. So we have a lot of people taking antibiotics. And now we're starting to stockpile up the clothing that we need for protection. So these stockpiles are normal, and these should be important. So eventually that stuff will be hauled over. Not urgent in any way. Alright, has it been long enough is the question. 8 more hours. Okay, so it's 7. So in the afternoon we can call back and and get a little bit of additional trade caravans coming. Anima grass linking is just about ready for Ervaneth, but not for yet Talon. That's coming soon. So yeah, here you can see the sort of spare clothing being stockpiled properly. Yanshui. Okay, so Yanshui, I'm going to take you off of research now. It's pretty important that you stay farming. So that's my bad. Everbum's finally leaving. I wish all of these idle colonists, at least the guests that literally don't do work. Oh, great. Mastica setting fire to my base because she's a pyromaniac with a chemical interest. What a lovely lass. She's here sent to protect a fox, and instead, she runs around setting fire to my everything. Alright, so there is an Imperial trader flying overhead. That's pretty good, because I've been doing a lot of trade here where I've been trying to get as much silver as I can. So let's go install these 2 beacons. Another thing I want to do is, have we hauled out the Thrumbo horn? Yeah, here they are. Perfect. Alright, so the beacons are installed. Blue. Let's go have you trade. So these guys, wow, they have quite a lot of good stuff for trade. So they have a lot of advanced components in case I don't want to manufacture my own. Unfortunately, I'm not really seeing any plasteel, which in my opinion is quite the bummer. So the buying the advanced components helped to skip over the fact that I need plasteel to manufacture them. So that is a bit of a nice shortcut. But if I'm being honest, there's really nothing else here that calls to me. The monosword, the linked monosword would be really good if I had another brawler to use it, but I currently don't have any brawler that could take up that mantle. I think what I'll do is actually, as crazy as this sounds, I'm going to sell the uranium because now I have a deep drilled spot for it. And that helps to soften the blow of buying all those advanced components. Because they were expensive. Another thing I might be able to do is call Empire of Spirit. Trade caravan, Imperial trader, and then we've waited long enough. Everbum with exotics, and Natalia with exotics. It's a lot of setup. What I will do here is, so Festopias are 2 hauler. I'm gonna set everyone else to super haul, just to sort of get stuff sorted, because it currently isn't. We had a lot of stuff in the wrong spots, and then I'll reduce the demand. Oh, Argus, you very much just made Pukesberry pregnant, didn't you? Beer God, uh-oh. Bubbaloo, let's skip you. Okay, I have so far spared Beer God from any permanent wounds. So I'm gonna skip Beer God into cover. And this warg has paid the price. I'm glad Babalu was so very close to that action, because there was not a lot of time. Wargs do a lot of damage. Often what I do is I periodically just clear the biome with predators, just to be able to avoid situations like that. All right, so Mathis, I'm going to have you go tend to Beer God. Good, thank you. Looks like the hauling that I've queued up is done. Putting Thostupia on it. Still, but sometimes, you know, falls behind. Understandably. Summer has officially begun, and I suspect we'll start to see those tribal raids soon. So the Empire Spirit has left comms range. I guess at this point, if my animals don't mind, it wouldn't hurt to basically have every single bit of chunks stockpiled. And then, as I sort of suspected would happen, this hallway did fill up with replacement goods, so I will continue the shelving. It's maybe not the proper armory that some of you hoped that I had, but I never got a goal to build an armory, so instead I'll make this makeshift one work for me. Alright, Mathis is throwing a party. Oh god. That's really bad. Why would you fight there? Okay. Luckily, he has a bionic leg, and he's faster than the warg. But putting yourself into a cave and then opening fire on a warg is like how not to hunt 101. Very dangerous, in other words. What was supposed to be stockpiled here? Psychite tea and beer. Okay, so it looks like I'm at a bit of a loss of Psychite tea and beer. Some of that is just because I have too many shelves over here of it. So what I'm going to do is unpause. I'm going to change the zone. I'm going to do forever. I'm just going to keep cranking out tea. I know that means that I'm not going to be able to make go juice because we're going to be using up the resources, but for now, a healthy supply of tea helps keep your colony sane. Chris has an inspired creativity. That's probably going to be pretty useful here. He's got pretty reasonably high construction skill. So let's go with a steel royal bed. and that might be able to cut down Bubblu's sleeping time, which would be really good. How you doing, Argus? It is a masterwork. All right. Well, I'm excited about that. What we could do is we could have Poppy and Chris take Bubblu's old bed. Or actually, you know, Poppy and Chris, you are going to take the masterwork. Two of you benefiting from a... Oh, the title of this work is called Vomit by Mathis? Okay, what is this? So you were assaulting Talon. Talon is visibly wounded. You basically created a bed celebrating you beating Talon up. That's, okay, that's very strange. I'll get that installed when I can. Plasteel found underground. Oh boy. Alright, let's immediately just mine this out. Because that is going to be critically important to our defenses, to our survival. That's not even an exaggeration. All right, Mr. Talon, have you consume a fine meal and then begin the linking ritual. That gets you up to level 6, which is maximum Psi-Link. All right, 0. Now that you're a little drunk, go dig at the deep drill. Get us plasteel as quick as you are able. So this plasteel portions should be coming up. Oh, bye-bye, free dog. He grabbed that pretty quick. And this will give us the autocannon turrets that we desperately need for our defense and survival. And then once we have the autocannon turrets constructed, I will add some additional uranium slug turrets here. And then maybe even plasteel mini turrets. It depends on how much time I have for preparation. I'm hoping I have a lot, but I'm not going to hold my breath for that. All right, so we've moved the old bed. Let's install the new one. Chris, you're going to install it yourself. You built it, you install it. So this is going to be Poppy and Chris's bedroom. What is this? Sleep rest effective of 131 compared to 120. Yeah. Masterwork has a considerable bump increase. So much so that it might even be worth 0 here attempting to create Masterworks for everybody, given her skill. But I'll wait on that. So here comes the Exotic Goods Trader and the Imperial Trader coming together. There is, of course, the possibility that the tribals show up while they're here. That would be pretty devastating. The link is now complete. Talon is a maximum Psycaster who just got Bullet Shield, which is an insanely good Psycast. At this point here, I no longer need Anima Grass. I have no need for Anima Grass, in fact. So what I'm going to do is the zone that was previously Bubblu's zone, I'm going to destroy. Bubblu, you are now going to be able to get your meditation from the Grand Throne. So you are going to go on non-bloodlust. This is going to be destroyed. Talon, you're still going to pray at the tree, but Bubblu, so that he doesn't have to run all the way out there every time. and the fact that he is our dignified Psycaster is going to stay where he is. Okay, this plasteel is phenomenal. Here comes a rather large caravan. So Chef from Ervabum and Lucas from Imperial. Alright, hello Chef. You've got a little bit of plasteel for me. You also have Shock Lance, Animal Pulsar, Neurotrain Miner, I don't really need. The Thrumbo Horns I can part with. Ooh. It's very tempting to sell my gold, but I don't think I will. Okay, well there's that trade. Let's trade with Lucas now. Where'd he go? Lucas, you have a much wider buying. You have no plasteel. I can sell you wood. That's great, because that's very easily replaceable for me. I'm a little tempted to buy the Circadian Assistant, but I'll be able to manufacture them pretty soon. That might be about it. I'm going to sell 8 Ambrosia just to have... Actually, it stacks up to 150. And I'm going to buy your components. Advanced components, I should say. Alright, as you can see, I bought enough plasteel to get these 2 autocannon turrets constructed immediately. Just trying to clean up the sort of sloppy wiring. Yeah, that'll look a little bit better. Right, so the Pulsar is also going to be a very powerful tool against these tribals, I suspect. Mathis, I'm going to let you sleep. And that rounds out this episode. Actually, I ran a little late, but I feel like we're in pretty good position for the raids. I don't think we have enough defenses, but I guess time will tell. We have a lot of tricks up our sleeve, and that's for sure. If you have any tips, tricks, feedback for me, do drop me a line in the comments below. If you're a patron of mine and you would like to submit an idea for the next poll, go ahead and drop that to me on Discord. If you aren't a patron and you're interested to become one, patreon.com is the link for you, or radamont.com for a list of all the benefits. Additionally, if you have any things that you think should be poll items, hey, maybe just submit them in YouTube comments, and if I think they're good enough to include on the poll, I'll use my administrative wildcard to throw them on there. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. I really, really appreciate you tuning in. I'll catch you all next episode. Adios.